Hi, welcome to Jamaican Cooking 101. Today we bring you another Jamaican dessert item. It is called sweet potato pudding, otherwise known as sweet potato pone. Alright, so let me prep the ingredients and I'll be right back. Welcome back. So I have prepped most of my ingredients, but I want you to see what I'm doing with the potato and other items that will go into the dish. Alright, so I have a sweet potato here, and you can get the yellow belly or the white belly. The yellow belly one tends to be a bit dry, so that one is ideal for such a pudding. So I'm cutting off top and bottom, and I'm using my vegetable peeler to just go right through and peel the skin off. I have some water with some lime juice, and that will prevent the oxidation. You don't really need to prevent the oxidation, because you want that to actually happen. So I've cut the potato in 4 pieces, and I'm using the small side of the grater to grate the peeled potatoes. Now you ought to be very careful. This is what we want it to look like. Want it to be thinly or finely shredded or grated, and you could put this in your food processor along with the liquid ingredients, and that would give you the same result, but I'm doing it the traditional way. Usually on a Saturday evening when potato come in from ground, you'd use the big old grater with a pudding pan, and then you'd save up that potato till a morning, where you would actually put the other ingredients in with it and put it in a big pot and do hella bottom, hella top, and hallelujah in the middle. Alright, so now that I've finished grating the potatoes, you could go right ahead and grate the coconut, because it's the coconut cream that we'll be using in the pudding. So I'm patting this down and allow it to oxidize. Just set it aside to change color. We want it to get darker, but you don't have to. It's not a must. So you set that aside and then you organize your other ingredients. Now potato puddings could be done in the oven, or it could be done on what we call wood fire. Alright, it is a delicate pudding and it's ideal for any time of the year, right? But traditionally we do it on a Sunday. So here I have all the ingredients and we're gonna quickly go through. I have melted butter, I have the shredded coconut, which I have juiced, and have the cream. I have some sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla, molasses, and this is about 2 cups of coconut cream. I'm adding half to this bowl simply because I want to dissolve the sugar, and I'm gonna add the other liquid ingredients. You could save back some of the coconut trash to put into the pudding, but you could grate some fresh ones. What I've done here is to use the mace of the nutmeg to soak off in some hot water so I can just extract the flavor, and I'm pouring that onto the coconut cream. If you want, you could blend it and add it, or just use the nutmeg alone. The mace is basically what comes around the shell of the nutmeg, and then when you remove that, the nutmeg is on the inside. I'm gonna be using some grated nutmeg as well as the essence from the mace. Alright, so what I'm doing is dissolving some sugar here. So I'm gonna measure out 1 cup of sugar, and I'm not using a lot of sugar simply because I'm gonna be using molasses, and I use molasses to just bring up the color as well as a sweetener. Alright, so once I've gotten that dissolved, I am going to add the rest of flavoring, such as the vanilla. You don't have to use clear vanilla, dark vanilla is fine. So I'm putting in 2 tablespoons, and if you want to up your amount, then no problem. I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of molasses. Alright, and we know sugar comes from the molasses, so it is a sweetener in itself. Adding a bit of salt because salt brings up the flavor, and I have here some raisins. Now I'm flouring the raisins simply because if you put the fresh raisins in, they're heavy and they will just fall right to the bottom of the pudding. I've added 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and now in another bowl I'm going to be adding the potato. So I have dissolved so far the sugar in the coconut cream, and the coconut cream was warm, so it did a good job there. And in another bowl I am adding the potato, some flour. If you don't want to use flour, you could use a cocoa or a piece of yam, right? But I'm using the flour today. I'm adding some cinnamon. You put as much cinnamon as you want to. Once I'm finished with that, I'm just gonna quickly combine those 3 ingredients. I'm also adding my nutmeg here. You don't have to sieve it, but I sieve it so that we don't have any lumps. Okay, so I'm clearing the work surface a bit. Once I've sieved that in, I'm gonna combine it well. And then it's time now to put the liquid with the dry ingredients. So let's go for that. We will need the rest of the coconut cream, don't worry about it. We need enough liquid so that, you know, the pudding can actually cook through. If there isn't enough liquid in the mixture, the pudding will not be thoroughly cooked. So I'm adding the rest of the cream in, and your potatoes, based on the nature of your potatoes, you might just need some more than the 2 cups of coconut cream. Alright, so I'm going in now with some freshly grated coconut, you know, just to give a little bite to the potato pudding. Alright, so I'm gonna get that well combined, and I have my bakeware. I'm using a rectangular casserole dish. I have greased it with some butter, and I am adding some flour to it, just getting that all around the sides and the bottom of the dish. Okay, and this will prevent the pudding from sticking. You know, it will come out of the dish easily. So I'm giving that a good little jiggle, and then I'm pouring the mixture in. Alright, this product does not have any raising agent, so it's not gonna rise above the dish, so it's okay to fill it up. And I'm adding the raisins last, and remember, because they're floured, they won't fall to the bottom of the product. So I'm adding the pudding to the oven at 355, and then I'm gonna allow that to bake through for just about an hour, 45 minutes. Some will be less. So I have allowed a bit of custard on the top, right? So that means it has a little moisture on the top, and I'm telling you, that is the glorious part of this pudding. So I'm prying the sides, and then I'm gonna turn it upside down. Because we would have greased the dish, it should be easy to come out. Lord have mercy, this one don't look like it won't come out. Come, ah, beautiful. So it's out. I'm afraid now if we go turn it round. So guess what? I just going to cut it same way and then turn it. Okay. Alright, so I'm cutting off a nice slice. You know, the end them always taste nicer than the middle part. So I'm cutting that, and here go. Taste piece first and then give you what we say. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. So you have the raisins in, and you can see coconut throughout. So I've decorated it now with some cherries and a sprig of mint and some coconut, shredded coconut. So this is what it looks like. So I present to you our Jamaican dessert, sweet potato pudding, or sweet potato one. Alright, try this recipe and let me know how it turned out for you. Thank you so much for watching Jamaican Cooking 101. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Happy cooking now!